There we go. All right. Now we just gotta wait on the Instagram to go live. Instagram is now live up on a Monday. Hello, hello, hello. It's your boy, the Beast One. Welcome to Dad Mentality Podcast. This week we got our girl, Althea McFarland, joining us, aka Reese, aka the best that ever did it, aka my comedian, comic, funny sister, aka can hide anything in her chest, aka my homie forever, who I love. She's going to join us today as we talk about legacy and get into some great conversations, things, and just have a good time. Y'all know what it is. It's Dad Mentality.
What is that's mentality? What it is? The mentality of taking care of family. As a man, I get lonely. I can't even call my homies, but I answer every call when my kids call me. I'll be there when they need me. They depending on me. They looking up to me. Sometimes we gotta fix our mental. Or maybe it's not meant to be a dad, a father, that's what men do. I made a promise to my kids, that's what I do. I just want them to do things better than I do. Or better yet, better things that I did. What is that's mentality? What it is? The mentality of taking care of family. As a man, I get lonely. I can't even call my homies, but I answer every call when my kids call me. I'll be there when they need me. They depending on me. They looking up to me. Welcome to the show, shout out to the coach. And Maddie Ice, Ice Cold Crypto. And each one, teach one. That's mentality, we just try to reach one. What is, that's mentality.
Hello, hello, hello. It's your boy, the Beast One. Welcome to another show of Dad Mentality Podcast. This week, we got a great show for y'all this week with our very own Althea McFarland that's going to join us. But just in case people been wondering, people been asking where he at, Matty Ice has been working. His new job, unfortunately, has him working at night, so he's not able to join us, but it's something that we hope will pass when this project is over with, and he'll be back to join us again. But of course, I still don't do this by myself. My man is here. My man at 50 grand since we've been hanging with each other since we was 4 years old in the sandbox. Now we do the podcast together. My man, Coach, aka Vance Robs. Coach, how you doing today, brother? All right, maybe he's not here. He might have had to step away, which is all right. But anyway, there we go. Coach, you there?
Sorry about that. Yeah, I'm here. No, I'm doing well, man. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Week is, you know what I'm saying, starting off, you know what I'm saying, looking forward to a good week. So
All right, we're gonna get ready to get into that the where we are with our mental health. But anyway, you know, I got a very special person here. Y'all know her from the Morning Mac Show. You can catch Monday through Friday. Put the ticket down there Monday through Friday at 10:30 in the morning. She's very own Althea McFarland, aka Reese. What's going on, Althea?
Hey, just trying to stay warm because it's chilly tonight.
All right, just trying to stay warm. Shout out to my man Shout Bout. Thank you for the likes already. Yeah, if y'all watching, please give us a like, subscribe. I got soon. I'll be October 3rd. I'll be in Chesapeake by Virginia Beach to check out my boy Shout Bout, his production. Please, if you're not following this gentleman, he's on everything. Bout Got Jokes. Is a very great comedian. He streams also with one of our guests, L.A. Josh Preston. I got to get Chow Bout on the show one time, but streams with him. He also streams on Twitch for his show. Yeah, Chow, put your link in the comments, brother, so people can check you out, man. I definitely want to support this guy, but we'll be I'll be hanging out with him with his production. And guess who will be featured in that production? Our very own Althea McFarlane will be cracking them jokes, slinging them jokes down in the beach. You know what I'm saying? It's me and my wife's 25th wedding anniversary. So we're going to come down to Virginia Beach and hang out with y'all and have a great time. LA Josh Preston, Jordan B, Chout Bout, and Althea McFarlane in there. I think, matter of fact, the whole group of your show should be down there, right, Althea?
Yep, all of the Morning Mac show. And you too, Rodney.
And me too. My beautiful wife. Yes, you will catch us at the bar because we're going to be celebrating our 25th wedding anniversary and celebrating it hard. So, you know, having a good time. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to do the skydiving, but I'm still going to have me a good time. So I'm excited about that trip out there. Yeah, catch Chow Bout on Twitch. You know what I'm saying? You can definitely follow him and watch him play video games, even though, you know, I'm a lot better. I'm trying to get with him and show him how to really play that game. But, you know, it's all good. We getting to it. But we're going to get ready to get into our mental health check-in here at Dad Mentality. We feel mental health is very, very important. If you're not checking in with your friend, family member, pastor, or a counselor, you know, make sure you get that check-in done so you can keep your mental health where it needs to be. I'm going to go ahead and start this week. I say, you know what? It was my birthday weekend last weekend, and unfortunately, I did not get to do any of the things that I wanted to do for my birthday. I had a whole day planned. I went to the men's retreat on Friday, the men's conference on Friday. Saturday, I was planning on getting up and going to the second part of the men's conference. They had breakfast. They had lunch for us. I was all excited and had to take care of some stuff from work and ended up having to work the whole day. After the men's conference, I had planned to go to the range, get my shooting on, and have a good time, and then go play poker. So I did get to go play poker, but that was it. I didn't get to go to the range. I didn't get to go to the second half of the men's conference. So I was kind of upset. And yesterday I was tired, from working. So, and today I was still recuperating, but you know, altogether, life is still good. My wife and my son cooked me breakfast. They cooked me dinner. You know, I ate good. So I still say I'm about a 7.5, close to an 8. You know, life is good, and just happy to be employed, happy to be doing the things that I need to be doing, happy to be moving in the direction that God wants me to be moving in, which is exciting for me and what he has next. And just happy to be doing the things that I'm doing. So I give myself about a 7.5, 8. Coach, I know it's been a rough week for you, but let us know where you've been, where you at, and things that you're looking forward to, man.
Yeah, man. You know what I'm saying? The week's been a pretty tough week, you know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying, I'm looking forward to, you know what I'm saying, you know what I'm saying, the upcoming week and what God has for me. So, you know what I mean, I'm gonna continue to, you know what I'm saying, kind of push, you know what I'm saying, through the valleys that I'm in. You know what I mean? And then just go, you know what I mean, and come back and keep fighting every single day. You know what I mean?
Well, I know last
That's the
week you
goal.
told us you was going to see that Tennessee and the Colts game. How'd that go?
It went good, man. It definitely went good. It was how can I say it? You know what I'm saying? I got to see some kids um that I hadn't seen in a while. You know what I'm saying? They're playing at the highest level. So was able to, you know what I'm saying, kind of spend some time with them after the game. You know what I'm saying? Talk to a couple of them, you know, speak kind of life into them. So one place with Colts, one place with the Titans. So, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? It was a good experience. Took one of them out, you know what I'm saying? And definitely checked in, you know what I'm saying, with him to make sure he was straight and so forth. So it was overall a good, you know what I'm saying, overall a good, you know what I'm saying, weekend trip. You know what I'm saying? Nashville's a really good city, you know what I mean? And so forth. So which was
Nashville's
a
on
good
my
thing.
list. How's the food?
Food was good, you know what I mean? Food was really, really, really good. And so forth. And so overall, you know what I'm saying, like I said, the experience was dope. So
Excellent.
wasn't nothing I could complain about. So
Well, I'm glad to hear that, brother. Glad to hear that, brother. And Reese,
Yes,
give
sir.
us how you feeling from 0 to 10, and what you're looking forward to. I know you got a lot of good things coming up.
Woo! Of course, I got a lot of good things coming up. Every day that he blesses me, I'm trying to change my mindset. And happy belated to you, brother Virgo.
Oh, thank you,
brother. I turned a year older too since the last time we was able to kick it here, on the podcast. And ever since then, my birthday came in. I've been busy. I've been blessed and busy because I prayed and I asked to be busy, right?
Mm-hmm.
So with that being said, my mental is on a 10, but my body is on a 2. So,
Okay.
I mean, so I'm gonna say I'm a 5 because I got to. Oh my goodness! I've been moving. I've been going, and I'm just not used to all the jumping and jiving. I just did family reunion and hosted the after party. Kicked that off. A week before that, we was just down way in the mountains in Maryland, Cumberland with funny man David Green. And then next week I'm gonna be with you. You and Vicky celebrating your anniversary, celebrating Molly's birthday, and I'm on the road again. Did not know. Why didn't y'all tell me that I ain't young like I used to be? Dang, I didn't feel it.
Yeah. Well, I've ridden in the car with you. I feel bad for the people that gotta be in the car. We see one of them passengers grabbing the seat every time you switch lanes and back seat driving the whole time, even if you going 2 miles over the speed limit. She like slow it down. You know what I'm saying? Reese is like I knew that day. I was like, thank God I'm not driving. I would have went
I had
nuts.
to close my eyes. I had to, and I opened it when I hit the I'm looking, if the car do like this, I'm looking like, all right, son. And then I look at my phone. He didn't know the whole time I had the GPS thing on my phone because it tells me the mileage that I'm going. It can tell you the mileage.
You on the phone with the GPS on it just so you can know how fast somebody driving. That's crazy work.
No,
that's crazy work.
Yeah, it was crazy. I'm just.
Oh, I would have kicked you out the car for sure. You wouldn't be driving with me, Coach. You allow that?
Nah, I wouldn't.
But I didn't say nothing. Ain't nobody know. I didn't say. That's how I was quiet. I was like this. Mm-hmm. Did I do this in the back? I didn't say nothing. I was just. Did I look over there? Let me tell you, I got hurt in a car accident. When you get kind of dinged up, it's just, especially when I get on the road now, I go through some type of anxiety where I get nauseous. I get really nervous like before I get on, and that's not cool. It's not cool.
But don't you make yourself more nervous by looking at the speed limit every 2 minutes? At the speed, how fast you going? Ain't that making you nervous?
No.
Coach? What you think about that?
Yeah, it definitely gets me nervous.
If you in the joint with your joint on there just to know how fast somebody driving the whole time, that's nervousness you creating on yourself. Louisa said she's a every seat driver.
Right.
She ain't just a backseat driver. She a every seat driver. We had to put you in the trunk. I'm telling you.
Lay back there, just don't give her ended. I'll lay right across the bench, just don't give her ended.
And you'll be in the trunk looking at how fast we going. That's exactly what you be doing. I wouldn't care at all. We would not be able to ride together. I'll tell you that. As soon as you did that, I'll pull over and get in the back seat with you. I'll be like,
how do you know what I'm
saying?
How would you know what I was doing?
Oh, I know, because I make it. You won't say something to me.
No, I'm like,
you gonna say something to me because when I'm speeding, you're gonna be like, slow down. I'm gonna be like, shit. I'm gonna go faster.
No, I just close my eyes. That's why you pray for traveling mercy. I just pray and I'm like, okay.
Well, there you go. If you prayed, then you shouldn't need to look at that for sure.
I'm looking at that for the police.
You can't be, huh?
I'm
The
looking out for the
police. No,
po-po.
you ain't. You looking on that so you can be judgmental.
No, I ain't saying that to
No?
him. I'm just
So you
like,
can be like, slow down, where you going? Which way you going? You going the
yeah,
wrong way.
you look out
Why
for
you
the
ain't do
cops.
that for the Uber that last time we talked about? Last time we talked to that Uber that you thought kidnapped you. Why ain't you do that for him?
I thought he knew where he was going.
I'm messing with you, Reese. It's all good, love. I appreciate you. I know better though. I rode with you. I knew then. I was like, oh nah, Reese Lee, because Melvin, one of the best drivers I know, and you was over there. You was over there clutching your pearls with him.
I didn't
was like,
say not
oh
one
nah.
word to Melvin. I didn't say nothing. I didn't say
It's
nothing.
you grabbed, you
Melvin,
held on.
Melvin, I
Anytime
trust
people holding
Melvin.
on to the side and hold on to their seatbelt and stuff like that, that don't mean you say nothing. If you saying stuff by doing that, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, you hold on to the you hold on to the Jake. I saw you slam your foot down like you got a brake on your side. Yeah, come on now.
No, you know you did not.
Yeah, I did. Praying and holding on, said Louisa. Yeah, she ain't doing none of that. She just is up there. What you call it? So anyway, before we get into it, I do got another shout out real quick. My girl, Lady K Wellness, had her event this weekend. It was awesome. Unfortunately, I had to work, so my wife went to it. But she did send me a little clip, so I'm gonna go ahead and let people know. Make sure y'all follow my girl at Lady K Wellness. And he go, hold on, I didn't pull it. I thought it was gonna just go ahead and pull up. I forgot, and I gotta do it this way. I got spoiled because I usually do it the other way now. But let's see if I might have to start all over again. All right. I'm messing up like Chef Dennis now.
And we never spoil, like a can good. God good, and my money good, and my fam good, and my girl good, and my friends good, everything good. And we never spoil, like a can good. God good.
There you go. That was just a quick clip of my girl from Lady K Wellness. She does her thing. She had the event underneath Woodrow Wilson Bridge on the 20th. She does it every year. It was great. So, my wife went and hung out and had a great time. So make sure you want to follow her on Lady K _wellness on all platforms and give her a shout out. But anyway, we're gonna get back let's get back to the conversation at hand. Chow Bao says that she's in the back seat of an Uber whispering, help, help. I think he's talking. I think he's taking me. I'm sure that's what he meant. But yeah, so we all know Reese sometimes just do some stuff that we can't explain. But anyway, we're gonna get into this week's topic. And this week, so I told you I went to the men's conference, and we went to what was called Tough Talk. So Tough Talk is kind of like an open forum for men. We have shout out to Elevate Church in Alexandria, Virginia. Pastor Dorsey is something. It's like a men's Tough Talk that we have once a month on Friday where we sit down and we talk. I haven't been in a while, but I knew that this was part of the men's conference, so I wanted to show up and hang out, and I kind of needed it too. But the topic was legacy, and that kind of brought me, just having that conversation and talking to people, it kind of brought me to, basically what I've been going through and talking about for the last, especially since this season started. That I'm really trying to think different. I'm really trying to be something different. Like, I don't want to work for a job that's just a job that's giving me just money or whatever. That I want to work for a cause that is for the greater good, and and do these things. I'm no longer interested. I'm no longer passionate about those things anymore. Just to be working just to make money. So we talked about legacy in the first definition of legacy is an amount of money or property left to someone in a will. And I think that's like the worldly idea of legacy to me. Because I mean, just that to me, an inheritance or what somebody leaves in a will, I wouldn't really call that a legacy. Now, the second definition of legacy is a long-lasting impact of particular events, actions, and etc. that took place in the past or of a person's life. And to me, that's more consistent to what I consider legacy to be. You know what I'm saying? Legacy to me is not just money or not just, what you leave to your people in the will and things like that. Legacy is more than that. So, when you think about legacy out there, what comes to mind for you?
I think about all of that comes to mind. I think about what am I leaving behind for the next generation to teach them, what could they grow on, or what how my travels or how my life could help somebody else. Not impact me because I'm gone, I'm not on this plane, but could help or impact somebody that's coming behind me. My book could be my legacy. My words of wisdom could be my legacy. My son is definitely my legacy. The empire I leave behind would be his legacy. My family I leave behind. All of that is legacy. All of what you said is I think about when I think about legacy.
Okay. Now, hey, Coach. So, when it comes to legacy, what comes to mind for you, Coach? You got us muted.
I mean, essentially, you know what I'm saying? Just, you know what I mean? I guess who you are, what you stand for, you know what I mean? And how you overcome, you know what I mean? So whatever situations that may, you know what I'm saying, arise, how you deal with them, how you overcome, and that in and of itself is what people will remember you by.
Okay.
Mhm.
And you got an idea what you think legacy is? Please put it in the comments. Make sure you let us know what you're thinking as well. So yeah, all of that. But I've kind of come to a place now, and I just kind of wanted to throw this out there at you. Well, first I want to go and let's go around and Althea. What do you what when people remember you, what do you want them to remember? What do you feel is your legacy? If today you was gonna tell people what your legacy was today, what would it be?
Love.
All right, one word. That's it. Just love.
Because everybody know I got nothing but love in my heart, and that didn't come from me. That came from the Father who put it in my heart. So, love.
All right. Okay. Love. So when I think of legacy for you, Reese, and I mean, love, I get it. I see what you're saying, but for me, you got a lot, in my opinion. And you got your comedy, your style of comedy, what you're doing. Like all the people that see you and know you know that at least that Reese is a fun, entertaining person who will give you their heart. Well, you'll give them your heart. You know what I'm saying, and do whatever it is to help and this, that, and the other. And sometimes I think you help too much, but that's not my issue. But I mean, it is to me. I think you got a lot of you got stuff with your son, the way you support him, the way he creates his music, and you're like his number one fan. To me, these are all things that consist in a legacy to me. You know what I'm saying? Because I look more towards like when people talk about you, what are they going to say? You know what I'm saying? Like your legacy can be, in my opinion, your legacy can be now. Like, what do people say about you when you leave the room? Is your legacy? You know what I'm saying? What do people say about you when they're talking? Talking here, or there. And I mess with you a lot, and I think sometimes you say some crazy things, but I still love you. But that isn't your legacy to me. You know what I'm saying? That isn't your legacy to me. The positive things that you do, the positive energy you give to people, the way you'll show up for anybody, the way that you will, you know, and even just watching you with your son and things like that, the way you're to me, you're his biggest fan. The way that you know, that you command the show, the comedy, you know, even though you're disabled, you get up there, you do your thing. You know, those are all things that I'm going to remember when I think of you. You know what I'm saying? And I even think of you. All right, now I ain't get you crying. All right, did that's your eye dialysis or something? You all right over there? Huh? I'm getting you a little emotional. My bad. You know, but I'm just being honest. But I'm about giving people their flowers anyway. You know what I'm saying? I'm all about that, giving them their flower. There we go. Even Louisa said, I agree, Rodney. Reese leaves a warmth when she leaves a space. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? So
that ain't gas.
Oh, it might be gas. I don't know. Might be that. I think your legacy is the impact or the imprint you leave with your family, friends, and those in the world. It is to be positive or negative. Okay. I definitely think you can leave a negative legacy also. Coach, when you think about people and think about what your legacy that you're going to leave, what do you think about?
Great father, great husband. You know what I mean? And definitely great mentor. You know what I'm saying? To a bunch of people that weren't part of the family.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. I mean, you know, Coach, you know, for you, definitely, I feel that you are a great man on the field and off the field. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's kind of like that's a football thing, but I mean, it's to be honest, that's what I really feel that your legacy is that. I mean, you know, that you're a great father, you're a great husband, you're a great man, you're a great man of God. I mean, the just you coming on this show and being a part of it and helping me through it, and even helping me through my growth through this show, to me is my legacy for you. You know what I'm saying? My growth in the last 2 years could not have happened without you. And I feel like it definitely is, you know, when it comes to legacy, those are the things. Like for me, you know, I definitely feel like this show is part of my legacy. But the amazing things that I've done with my children and for my children, and even Coach, when you said that the biggest thing that is impacting me now is like the whole, what's up, Two Canes, aka John Bivens. You know, the whole thing you said to me about, you know, not giving, I stopped believing, I stopped really emphasizing giving my kids gifts. I want to give them memories, you know, and I think it's the memories that mean stuff, because gifts and even the money and houses and things like that, you know, when you're gone, they're not worth anything. You know what I'm saying? Like that house or car you give them could be actually more of a burden than a blessing. You know what I'm saying? The real legacy is the tools, the things, you know, the fact that my son is flourishing and great. You know, my biggest legacy thing that is going to make me happy is the fact that my daughter is going to come out of college debt free. You know what I'm saying? To me, that's more of a legacy than all the jobs and all the money and all the houses and all the cars. You know what I'm saying? Like, no matter how many of those things I leave, my biggest flex is going to me right now is, you know, my daughter graduating college with no debt. My son being in the Air Force and growing and traveling and doing these things. My youngest son, once he goes to college or whatever he decides to do, being able to value how much they've grown and even to be able, one of my other biggest flex is the fact that my kids will call me. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of parents out there who adult kids want nothing to do with them. You know what I'm saying? Want nothing to do with them, not, you know, happy about whatever happened for whatever reason, you know what I'm saying? My kids love to call me. They are cool with it. Sometimes they annoy me. You know what I'm saying? Having that type of relationship with your family, your friends, the people that know they can call you and trust them, that's to me is the real legacy. Not the how much dollars I leave to my kids at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? To me, the real legacy is how many people, if you know, if I don't show up for work, how many people going to call, be like, "What's going on?" You know what I'm saying? These things are real incidents or real things to me. How many people have you impacted in your life is what I consider legacy. So now to go on to the next part I want to talk about, and something I just want to bring up is we put a lot of value in the legacy, the inheritance, and how much you're going to leave to people, your kids, how much money, this, that, and the other, how much jewelry. Yeah, here we go. It's so true. We believe in tangible things. Houses, cars, money, clothes, jewelry, etc. are worth more than connection. If the only memory people have of you is your wealth, you failed in life. Wow, okay, that's strong, Louisa. I mean, I understand where you're going with that. But I mean, I agree, because the money can be spent. Like, you know what I'm saying? The house can be taken. The cars can be crashed. But the memories never go away. They're never gone, no matter what. So what do you think about what I said so far, Thea?
Yeah, I would tend to agree to a certain extent, because when you give your, like Louisa said, money, like he said, can be spent. So just because you give them $1 million, sometimes that could be the thing that could turn around and hurt your child. Or especially if they don't know what to do with it, if you didn't prepare them for it or teach them how to handle themselves. That's more important than money. Because haven't y'all seen them shows about the people who hit the lottery, how they say millions of dollars ruined their life because they didn't know what to do with it. They wasn't taught the value, that legacy. They didn't nobody pass that legacy down. They always say God never put more on you than you could bear, but how do you deal with what he gives you? How well do you handle what you ask for? That's a legacy in itself, and you got to definitely teach your children how to do a lot with a little, or how to manage that money, because if not, that could be gone, and those things perish and all that stuff. I remember I had a car, right? It was given to me, and everybody was like, "Oh, you so lucky! The car was given to you. Car was given to you." That car cost me a lot, because that car was it looked beautiful on the outside, but because it wasn't driven, the engine was dead. It had a lot of the rotted. It was called dry rotted. The first it was the water. I was like, why is this car only got these many miles on it, and it's dry rotted? Because it wasn't used. So I got a free car, would cost me a whole lot in repairs, whole lot in towing, whole lot. It cost me a whole lot of other ways. So sometimes just because you got tangible things doesn't mean that you got something. You got something that can break down, rot, deteriorate, get stolen, get broken into. You got something that can cause you more headaches. So just because, the tangible, that ain't where it is. But I had enough sense to jump that car after a while. Like, look, wait a minute. That shit ain't put no more money. They had to cut my losses, had to get some sense about it. Like, I don't care if it was given to me, this car, it hurts me more than it's helping me. So.
Coach, you got anything you want to add? You muted.
Nah, man, I agree with everything y'all saying, man. I don't got much to add on that one.
All right.
Yeah.
Louisa says she prefer pictures. I guess she prefer pictures more than money. I don't know. I'm not sure what that one even means, but yeah. So the other thing I wanted, yeah,
I
go
do
ahead.
got one thing. I take that back. I do think that, you know what I'm saying, when you start, you know what I'm saying, kind of glorifying the money and the things, you know what I mean, that it kind of changes your perspective on everything else. So, um, whether good or bad, some people can handle it, some people can't. Some people can remain humble, some people can't. I think it really depends on the person and how well grounded you are. Like the funny thing is that we, you know what I'm saying, don't we do everything really for our kids, you know what I mean? And that's a biblical stance. So, you know what I mean, it's not oftentimes we get selfish in our ways as adults, when it's really, you know what I'm saying, the inheritance is really for the generation behind us. And oftentimes we lose sight of that, you know what I mean? And so forth. And that's just my thoughts on it. You know what I mean? I think it's funny, when it comes to money, because you know it's a lot of rich, humble people. You know what I mean? And it's a lot of people that it doesn't change them at all. You know what I mean? They are who they are. I mean, the wealthy really walk around normal. You know what I'm saying? And the people that think they're rich don't walk around normal, right? They think they got everything. So I think the world has kind of twisted us into something that, you know what I'm saying, like, I think, Rodney, we talk about this all the time. You know what I mean? Sometimes, you know what I'm saying, we don't even live in our own reality. You know what I mean? And money can do that to people. You know what I mean? So we was born with nothing. We gonna leave this joint with nothing, no matter how you look at it. You know what I mean? And that's just what it is. So it's amazing, how influential that one little thing of having stuff can do to people. So
Yeah, I mean, and that's something that I did want to get into because if you are a believer and believe in God, no, that going thing my fell. Hold on. You are, hold on, bro. Hold on. Y'all can see a little bit of my basement. If you are a believer in God, then everything that you're preparing here on earth means nothing.
yep.
All the money, all the houses, everything means nothing. There's no difference between me and Bill Gates. His money is when he dies, he ain't taking none of that with him.
Nope.
And God is looking at the what you did in your time while you were here. And if your time was in your here and you go to God like, I made $10 billion. Okay, well, what'd you do with that $10 billion? Well, I used it to make $10 more billion. And then what'd you do with that? I used that to make another $10 billion. And that's all you got to tell God, then what have you done? You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, what have you done? That money is not going to, that money is not going to, in my opinion, this is just my opinion, because some other people may have a different opinion. But in my opinion, that God don't care about money. Like money is man-made. It's not something. So then you talk about, I mean, I had 15 houses I gave to my kids, stuff like that. None of that means anything. You know what I'm saying? It's about how you affected people and things like that. So one of the things I want to talk about legacy is the legacy of helping and a legacy of prayer. Like for me, me and Coach have openly talked about in our childhood that we were going down the wrong path. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, I'm honestly say for myself, I was self-destructive. This path that I was going had nothing to do with my parents. Had nothing to do. I say, the impact of my father's death did impact me, which it did. but it still was the decision that I decided to make. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, it did have something to do with it, but my mother was a beautiful woman. My mother was a great woman. My father, until the day he died that I know of, was a great man. You know what I'm saying? And I decided to go down these pathways and doing these things. Maybe you say, maybe some people would say because I was hurt or whatever came, but some people, but for me now, in the moment of my life that I am now, was still a decision that I made. But I do still remember the prayers. The legacy for me were the prayers. I still remember when Vance's mom prayed over me in the 6th grade at it was at Bible study, and they came and prayed over me, and she prayed over me so good I decided to change. I was like, yo, if she praying this hard, I need to do different, because she was praying like it was some other prayer. Like I could see, like while she was praying in the 6th grade, I could see God standing beside her. You know what I'm saying? Like I was like, hold up. If she praying this hard for me, I need to change some things. And yeah, I changed for a little while. But you know, it still was a tough situation. So I decided not to pray. I still remember when Pastor Kane prayed for me. And I remember we talked about when Pastor Dorsey sat me, Coach, and Vance down and told us, and then prayed with us after, told us that we were going to kill each other. You know what I'm saying? If we didn't get out and start getting on the road and doing the right things. And later on in life, you know, those prayers must have worked. Because I still remember my 7th grade teacher coming to see me later in life when I owned my restaurant and was like, I am amazed that you are a law-abiding citizen. You know what I'm saying? She couldn't believe it. And that wasn't just one teacher. I had another teacher, my Spanish teacher, Miss Price. That was Miss Sluter that came to me and said that. It was Miss Price, my Spanish teacher, where I got kicked out of her class, said the same thing. A, she was surprised that I was a law-abiding citizen. B, she couldn't believe that Vicky was crazy enough to stay with me in high school. So I was like, yeah, we still married. We still together. She was like, that little pretty girl married you. She must have lost. She said, what you do to her? I was like, man, hey, look, you know, hey, she's happy. So I must have did something right. But I kind of want to talk about the things that people don't talk about. And that's the little things like prayer. And that one time, like I think about the time that I gave somebody, you know, they needed that $20 for something to make it through that day, to get to the next joint or whatever the case may be. That a lot of times we don't know how those little things really impacted a person and really help them to make it to the next level, or at least know that, hey, you know, I get to make it through today. And so for me, that's it. I'm just curious, is there anything in your childhood that happened that impacted you, that somebody that maybe you never gave them their flowers and maybe never even realized until now you're an adult, you realize that, hey, that moment was a pivotal moment in my life where I decided, because that person prayed for me, or because that person helped me out, or because that person was, you know, kind of like the angel that came and just helped you out in a certain way and got you through that moment, was that there. So is there, Althea, you got any memories or anything like that?
First,
yeah, absolutely.
The question is, I've heard you say, you're talking, you said people prayed for you, but what are you praying for yourself? I mean, it's nothing wrong with other people praying for
about back then or now? Which
back then, now? I mean, you know, you like people pray for me, but was you praying for you? Was
no.
you?
Nah, not back then. No, not at all. Nah, you can't pray to do sin. What are you talking about? Nah.
That's all you was. Okay,
I'm out here sinning. What you talking about? Like, I will pray.
I mean, you might have been like, God, take this from me. Take this, you know, take this.
Maybe I pray, God, you get me out of this one. I'll go to church this Sunday, maybe. I might have said that once or twice, like, oh God, but I was in a couple, like I had a gun pointed at me a couple times. I had one time that the gun did not shoot. He pulled the trigger and it jammed. And that was definitely one time that God came through. And I said after that, I would never be in that situation. And of course, the next week I was in the same situation. But, you know, that was part of that lifestyle that I was in back then. You know what I'm saying? Or just the bad decisions that I was making as a teenager, as a boy that was confused. You know what I'm saying? But now it's totally different, but yeah. But back then, nah, I wasn't praying. Nah, man. I was shoot. It was in the trigger I trust. Back then, it wasn't in God I trust. You know what I'm saying? It was in this alcohol I trust. It was in this trigger I trust. It was in stuff like that back then. My giant wasn't God, so not perfect. I wasn't perfect. I wasn't perfect like Althea. Althea's
No,
always
Althea
perfect.
wasn't perfect. I'm far from
But
perfect.
I still ask you the question.
But the one thing it's my grandfather, and the reason why I asked you that, because what he did, he taught me how to pray for myself. He taught me how to go to communicate with God, so nobody have to pray for you. You could go to God, talk to God yourself. Because when you go straight up there, I didn't need no middleman. So my grandfather taught me how to communicate, and that was very, very important, because as a child growing up, and this was in my childhood, I did something foolish. I did, and
Slicky
that
Woo
was
Woo.
Trey. I'm sorry, Trey. I did something foolish, and and I was like, well, I couldn't talk to you, and I couldn't talk to Grandma. So he said, talk to God. Did you talk to God? And I was like, I didn't have his number. I don't know how to call him. And so he, told me how to pray go to him and pray yourself, and that was like an eye opener, because sometimes people pray negative stuff for you. Sometimes people pray bad things over you. So he's like, you don't want everybody praying for you. And I was like, okay.
If they're praying bad things, then I'm not worried, because my God not listening. You know what I'm saying? My God not listening.
But I'm just saying, he told me yourself, talk to him yourself instead of waiting for everybody. I'm like, okay, that man upstairs, who knows the road? That man upstairs want to bear your heavy load. So, and that kind of stuff come into memory. And he told me that is the legacy that my grandfather instilled, how to handle people, treat people, and love yourself and love God. That is what he left behind. And I passed that on to my child. Whatever my grandparents passed to me, that's true example of a legacy. That right there in a nutshell. Granddaddy.
There you go. I like it. Louisa said that's why it's important to be kind, and you never know what others are going through. That is absolutely right. She also said one day after church, one of the mothers walked up to me, shook my hand, and slipped me a 20 in it. She walked away like nothing happened, but I was able to get to work for that week. And that changed. See, there you go. That's what I'm talking about. You never know how something so simple could really change the moment of a person's life. And Coach, so if you're there, I'm trying to see, was there any do you remember something that may have happened simple that somebody did for you that really impacted you in that moment? And something you still think about or is a legacy to you?
Yeah, man. I mean, I think that, what I'm saying, I had a coach, in high school that truly believed in my talent, right? And so much so that when he left a school, he brought me to another school. And, at that time, most of the people that, I kind of dealt with, it wasn't genuine, you know what I mean? It wasn't one of those, it was one of those, what can this kid do for me? And I think, that particular coach kind of, molded me into kind of the coach I became as I came up. in that, you know what I'm saying? We doing it just, you know what I'm saying, to support the child, support, you know what I'm saying, the kid, and support the young man that's learning and growing. So I mean, that action, of course, has impacted me kind of throughout my life and throughout some of the relationships I have with some of my players. So that was probably one of the more memorable things that I kind of always think back to, you know what I'm saying, in the childhood. So
Okay.
hmm
That was years ago because 20 is only a few rides on the train. All right. So it was years ago in the hell, hey man, that still was very important. I do, I've had I know I've had moments like that. I've had people come to me and say to me that, something I try to even before now, I've always tried to be a positive influence at work and a positive influence to my kids, friends, and places, things like that. I've always preached that my house is a safe haven. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't care what's going on in your life. When you come over here, you're safe and there's no issues. And I mean, I had one of my daughter's friends, dads, their parents was going through some situations and things like that. And the kids would always just come over to my house when things were not going right or they needed time to work things out or whatever the case may be. They knew that my house was always a safe place and they didn't have to leave until, if their parents came and got them, then they left. But other than that, they wanted to spend the night. They wanted to stay there. They wanted to talk. I'm still friends with both of them. They're now both adults. And I'm still a person that they know they can call at any time. And, we can talk about anything. I'm still great friends with their father. I'm still very cordial, and I wouldn't consider us friends with the mother because we were never friends. But not to say that in a negative way, but I'm not friends with married women or women at all, really. My only woman friend is my wife. I have an associate, but Althea is my friend, but Althea is different. Weezer is my friend too, but she's different too. So, but y'all know what I'm saying. I just don't have. I wouldn't say that type of circle. I just don't have that type of relationship with many people, many females anyway. So, but but she is a great woman, and we talk and this, that, and other. Her and my wife are friends, but anyway, to make the long story short, I always, and I got some confirmation from one of the kids, not too very recently, that she thanked me. She was like, no matter what was going on in my house, I knew I had a safe place to go. You know what I'm saying? Where if I didn't want to be a part of this or I didn't want to be involved, I could just come right over here and know that, when things were going on and things were rough, it didn't matter. I can come over here and hang out and do whatever and never had to leave until I was ready to leave or whatever the case may be. And I think that people, that I think is the real legacy. That's the real things that it's about the people that you impact, the people that that you show them love, like Reese said, that you show them love and you give them a place where they can be comfortable and safe with no strings attached. When you're not in it for, I think that legacy also can't be selfish. If it's selfish, then if you're doing it for your benefit, then that's not legacy. I guess that's being selfishness. I don't know. But like Coach said, the coaches was there for the right reasons opposed to the wrong reasons. And I think you have to be that way all the time. So, you know, um, but yeah, so that's what I was just kind of interested in what y'all thought about that. Um, but legacy can be as simple to me. It can be simple as the prayer you prayed for somebody, the moment that you were there. Like I said, I believe that legacies can be created And legacies can be created and you never even know what you did. You know what I'm saying? It could be that time that you just, over tipped or, saw somebody going through something and you just gave them what they needed. You know what I'm saying? And I believe that that's the true things that's going to be important. I've done this show because when I did the show, part of it was that I wanted to make sure that when I have grandkids, that they be able to find out what their grandfather was really like. I have a huge passion to actually, like, I don't know much more about my dad than other than just the stories that I've been told. At the time I was so young that I just thought my dad was like a glorified chauffeur. You know what I'm saying? He was just a glorified chauffeur. He picked me up, he dropped me off, he was cool, this, that, and the other. But I didn't realize, that how much he was doing for me because I was young. You know what I'm saying? I was young. You just like, oh, it's dad. It's not that big of a deal until somebody's gone. And then, for me, his legacy has always been that a lot of times when people told me stories about him, I couldn't relate. I didn't understand. I didn't know that guy. You know what I'm saying? By the time I got into the picture, my dad stopped drinking like that. He was going to church at the end, and I've never seen my dad get in a fight. I don't even remember seeing him angry. You know what I'm saying? The one time he only spanked me once because I cut my own hair with some scissors or something one time. And that was it. So I don't really have that when people tell the negative stories about my dad, the fact that about him alcohol, the fact that my dad had a few DUIs or DWIs or whatever it is. I don't know that guy. You know what I'm saying? I don't remember. Hey Vance, you remember I had a sleepover in my basement and my Aunt Pig and Uncle Bill was there. Do you remember that
Nah.
sleepover by any chance? It was the one, what's his name was there? Oh, JR was there. It wasn't the one with JR peed in the bed though. It wasn't that one. But you don't remember? It was the one we had in the basement. And I remember which cause. Anyway, long story short, they tell me that my dad got so drunk that night that he slept with us and pissed in the bed.
Really?
And moved us out of the bed and put in and took the mattress and threw it out and got rid of it before we woke up because he didn't want us to know that he peed in the bed.
I didn't know that.
Huh?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, that's a crazy story. I never realized that. I had no idea, but to me, but that was because my Aunt Pig was there. I do remember, but my Aunt Pig and them was there, and they brought in some corn liquor from North Carolina. I do remember that because because it had peaches in it. It was a big old jar, and it had peaches in it, and I wanted some, but it was corn liquor. Yeah, you don't remember that. It's all good. You was there though. You was there. And the story is that he got so drunk off the corn liquor with my aunt and them that he slept downstairs with us and ended up peeing on the bed. But anyway, but that's still not as JR know he peed in the bed. I can put his business out there. JR grown man. I still talk about when he peed in the bed that time. Anyway, but it's just that I don't know none of that. So, I always wanted, this is part of my legacy and making sure that my kids get to see what it is. So anyway, we're going to get ready. I got these few reels about legacy. We're going to watch them real quick and then get into these terrible, terrible picks. And then, unfortunately, we got Althea on this week. So I know they're going to be real bad. She's still
If you remember my record, I told you some good stuff last year. You didn't believe it.
And we still lost. You didn't win. No. So it don't matter. Didn't win. You always trying to take credit for something that ain't no credit due. So, it's all good. We're gonna watch these two reels I got about legacy, and then we'll get ready to get into something different. So excuse me. And have some fun. and listen to Reese's terrible, terrible picks, which we know ain't gonna get no better.
When my time on earth is done, what's the one thing I hope people remember about me? I would love it if my grandchildren or great-grandchildren had some idea of the value that I contributed to them. Your legacy are the people that love you so much that they go and visit your gravesite. Your legacy are the people that you've mentored and that you've helped. And so the more people you can create value and meaning in the lives of, the more of a legacy you have. And all the other stuff is superficial. So how much value have I created in the lives of others? And how much meaning have I created in the lives of others? Value is one thing, but meaning is depth. So value is width and meaning is depth, right? So I might have created billions of dollars in value in the lives of many people because, I've built very big businesses. But the depth is what's most important. How much depth, how much meaning have you created in the lives of others? When my time on earth is done, what's the one thing I hope people remember about me? I would love it.
All right. So, what do you think about what he just said, Reese? Oh, she muted. She on the phone now? Lord have mercy. Coach, you there?
Hello.
All right, you there? So what do you think about what he said?
Honestly, I didn't. I don't think about.
Okay. So
why don't you think about it?
Why? Because I didn't hear what he was saying.
Okay.
I'm being honest.
You want me to? Don't worry about it, Coach.
I mean, he had some decent points. When it comes to, I just got a different view on legacy in general. You know what I mean? I don't know that he necessarily articulated it in the same manner. I don't agree with everything that he said. I agree with some of the things. I think that I'm going back to what I said earlier. I definitely believe that oftentimes, you know what I'm saying, we think about our legacy as, you know what I'm saying, what we've done and what we've left behind and the mark we left on the world. But when it really boiled down to it, it's all about what the world leaves you behind, what the world thought of your legacy, right? Because we could try, you know what I'm saying, to do whatever, you know what I'm saying, is the right thing to do. And some people are going to paint the picture as a certain way, and some people aren't, you know what I mean? And you know what I mean? As long as you give that full forth effort and every single day doing the right thing at the right time, I think that the world will speak for speak your legacy. You don't have to define that yourself. That's just me in general.
I got you. I mean, to
Mhm.
me, the world, I don't care about how the world defines my legacy. It's the people that I care about. You know what I'm saying? Because anybody, like you said, it can be defined because somebody who might have not known me in the last 10 years might define me as an asshole, might define me as a person who was selfish, self-centered, or whatever the case may be, was all these things, which in their eyes is probably true. You know what I'm saying? It's probably true. So it ain't much I can say about that, but it doesn't define me. No, if you really got to know me, then you know me. You know what I'm saying? But I don't, I don't hide my assholeness, and I don't, and I don't hide the fact of a lot of things to certain people. If I don't deem you as a person that's worth my time or worth that effort, then I'm not going to give it to you. Like, if I know you're going to misuse what I'm going to give you, then I'm not going to. Then to you, I probably was an asshole. You know what I'm saying? To you, I probably was the person that you're going to paint me to be in your version of that story. But your version of the story does not define. You know what I'm saying? And that's how I feel. What about you out there? You got something to say now, or no? You still don't want to talk?
I'm listening to what you and Coach is saying. When y'all talk about legacy. Let me ask both of y'all. Do y'all sometimes think that people can leave some BS behind? And people paint a picture of this legacy or this person is a great person when in actuality is just really the opposite. Like,
I think that happens at funerals all the time.
Yeah.
I
At
think
funerals,
it
yeah.
happens in crimes all the time. I think, you know what I'm saying? I definitely believe that this world has bad people in it. You know what I mean? And like everybody ain't good. You know what I'm saying? And it's funny because I have this argument with people that I care about sometimes. Um, and when you see things on the news and you see things that happen, whether it's our people or other people, but like I don't make the judgment until I truly understand the whole story, right? Like, oftentimes our culture can get behind something that they don't know what they really getting behind. You know what I mean? They don't have it's kind of, I always think about it as the boycotting syndrome. Everybody boycotts this because everybody else is boycotting this. But if we really was boycotting, we'd be boycotting a lot more than just what we boycotting. And then people dog me about saying, "Oh, well, it's a start. We got to stick together." Blah blah blah. It's all cool until, you know what I'm saying, it start affecting you. You know what I mean? So I agree with you out there. I don't think that, you know what I'm saying, everybody in this world is good.
Yeah, and I definitely don't really, but I mean, a lot of times for me personally at a funeral, I'm not going unless unless I think positive of you anyway. And B, at this point it's nothing left to say. Like
right,
I could care less what y'all say at my funeral. You know what I'm saying?
right.
I ain't gonna be here. So it don't matter
Great.
to me at all. But I mean, but for me, it's nothing worth saying to me. But I'm not one to go up there and say that somebody was a great person when they wasn't. You know what I'm saying? I get a lot of flack because I don't go to my uncle's funerals. I haven't been to my uncle's funeral. And except for one I wanted to go to, but it just so happened that it was on my anniversary and we had already paid for plans. So my Uncle Leon, I'll give him his shout outs. But I always say that, I didn't go to my uncle's funerals and I kind of regret it now because it was my fault as well. But I feel like, I was looking when my father died, I was looking for somebody to be a father figure, and none of my uncles stepped up. Except for Uncle Leon. Uncle Leon was the only one. And that to me still bothers me today. I still love my uncles and I go see them. And, when something happens, we have our family events. I would never say anything negative to them. You know what I'm saying? Or about them because they're great men. They've raised great kids and raised great families. But for me, I just felt like that was a part in my life where they dropped the ball. You know what I'm saying? Where they dropped the ball and I feel like they definitely, as my uncle, should have been more impactful in helping my mother and helping me. So, but that doesn't make him negative. But it just wasn't. It was just something that I feel personally. So I'm not going to go there and start talking negative or anything like that, and at their funerals or things like that. But at B, I don't go to funerals, so I'm not. I don't like them. I'm not healthy. I'm not good with them. I would say now I'm probably a lot better than I was when I was younger, but I still don't. It's still not. It's still not my thing. You know what I'm saying? The ones that I'm going to, the only way I'm going to your funeral is if I love you enough that I'm a pallbearer. You know what I'm saying? Then I'll go. Huh?
You said that if you're a pallbearer.
Yeah, yeah. Like you that close to me that I was told that I'm going to be one of the pallbearers or something like that. Then I'll go. Then that's how close I was to you. Then that's something different. But other than that, because I'm on a it's emotional time for me, and I don't deal with it very well. That's just me. You know what I'm saying? And I've even told people, when my mom passed away, and a lot of people came to her funeral. I mean, it was hundreds. You know what I'm saying? And I told her, like, look, don't think I'm going to any of y'all's. You know what I'm saying? It's not happening. You know what I'm saying? Just because you came to my mother's. And I told all my friends, they was like, yeah, I was like, look, I just want to let you know that if you want to come, that's your decision. If you don't come, I'm not going to hold it against you. But, you know, I don't think that I'm coming to yours because I'm not. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, but yeah, some people may have that legacy of me, you know, some people do, but the people that really know me, like the people that fired, like I had, at one of Gwen's events, I don't remember whose friend it was, but I fired her and she walked up on me and Vicky at an event. And I was like, and I was at one of Gwen's events, and I looked at her and I was like, I could see the anger in her face as she's walking up to me. And I looked at her and I said, she said, you remember me? And I looked at her and I said, not really, but I know that when I knew you, I was a different person. And whatever I did to you, I apologize. So you can sit here and be angry now, or we can just work it out, have a drink, and move on. But I'm not that same guy. So when you start talking to me about what I did, I'm not going to relate. And she looked at me and I watched her whole expression, everything just went away. And she was like, well, let's have the drink. And I was like, let's go, you know? And we had that drink together. And we partied the rest of the night at Gwen's event together. And it was Kiki's friend. It was one of Kiki's friends. Marcus's girlfriend. It was one of her friends, yeah. And we partied the rest of the night together and it was over with. But I mean, you know, hey, some people might tell you that, but in those aspects, I was a bad guy. You know what I'm saying? I was an asshole. I was not perfect.
Did the girl deserve to get fired?
I don't remember.
Oh, because I was like, well,
in my opinion, if I fired her, yes.
Okay, so doing your job.
Yeah, but I don't remember. That don't mean, let me tell you something. I was rude. Like when I fired people, I made it. It could have been a spectacle. I could have embarrassed her. I could have did a rock of stuff. I think she had her boyfriend come up there and I told him about himself too or something like that, if I remember correctly. But, you know, it was so long ago. Who knows? I done fired a lot of people. But, you know, it's all about what it is. And like I said, some people may have a bad impression of you, Reese. But I mean, hey, I don't care. You know,
Yes,
I could care less. When I'm dead, I promise you, I don't care about none of that. Cremate me. I don't want to bury. I don't even want you to put me in the grave. I don't want a grave marker. Like I don't want none of that because that dead body don't mean nothing to me. I mean, it is worth nothing to me. And you know, go ahead. What was you about to say?
I was just saying, I just want, because a lot of times people will turn a monster into a hero, and we see it, and you sit back like, why are they martyring this? Why are they making a martyr out of somebody who didn't, you know? But they do it. It's all through that's history. That's how messed up history is. When I pass, all of this will be forgotten anyway. And I just want my creator to look at me and say, well done, you did okay, or you know, I just want his approval. I think we as people, as human, look for everybody else approval. We look for other people approval and high five and other people quicker than we do our creator's approval. You know, so I do you live for man or do you live for him? Do you live for him or do you know? It's just everything is so jumbled up and mixed up. Sometimes it can get really confusing. You can get really sidetracked and derailed off of why you do what you do and what you do. Are you really leaving a legacy behind, or are you really doing stuff so people won't talk about you, or are you doing something so people will continue to talk about you? What is the some? You know, everybody intentions. It's just different. Everything is just so jumbled up in this world. You see some of everything, and that's why I asked about the monsters and heroes. You turn a hero to a monster. Can a monster be a hero? Like you said 10 years ago, you was a monster. Today, you're a lot of people heroes. See what I'm saying? You know.
Yeah, that could be true too. But the thing about it is, you could be hearing the story and that person was different. You know what I'm saying? You knew them back in the day or whatever, and now they're different. You don't know that. You know what I'm saying? And when you're hearing the story, you know, like I said, somebody come to my funeral that know me. I don't know. It all depends because like some of my jobs, the people I work with love me, but I meet people all the time that thank me for the things that happen at work as well. So, you know, like I said, the coin flips both ways. You know, the coin flips both ways. But let's go to this last one, then we get into this what you call it. Then we get into this because all the viewers have dropped because of the Ravens game is on now. So let's hurry up. We had 6-7 people watching. Now it's down to 1. I'm sorry. So let's go ahead and get this wrapped on up. Wrap it up.
You with this thought. I would challenge myself with this thought too. It's easy to think about. We have loved ones, and when we are done, we want to pass on an inheritance. And sometimes you think about that as a legacy, right? Both of them are things that you leave behind. Inheritance and a legacy. But I would maybe sum it up this way. Inheritance is what you leave behind, but legacy is who you leave it in. And will you leave a greater inheritance or a greater legacy? Would you just leave paper, or will you leave purpose in the lives that you encounter? And I think that thought process is one that's been very convicting to me and challenging, because you know what? Paper ain't going to change a lot of lives, but purpose is. Leaving a real legacy in the lives that you got to encounter, because how you cared, how you taught, how you loved, how you mentored. Is that going to be a bigger legacy for us? Or, hey, I was pretty successful, and so at the end of my days, I'm going to look back and I'm going to talk about my biggest promotions. Congratulations. You won't care a bit about it, but you will care about all the lives that you impacted along the way.
All right. Since Reese, you shaking your head, or you got an opinion this time?
I agree.
What do you agree on?
About what he said. What the some people accolades or jobs or accolade. Oh, you got this raise, you got that promotion. It ain't gonna make a bit of a difference. But if you could change somebody's life, that's life changing. And sometimes what you say, the random act of kindness, or what you show, empathy, sympathy, or all of that, what you can give a person that money can't buy. Money can't buy you kindness. Money not going to buy you a seat in heaven. Money, if anything, money do the opposite and get you to burn out quicker. When people get money, they forget about all their woes and the crazy stuff. And sometimes money make people treat people even worse. They don't have it. So, but if you kindness, the empathy, that's some being there genuinely. Like Rodney, you say some people call you a butthole. That's because you tell the truth, or because you give them that tough love. And sometimes we humans, or we people, don't know how to handle the tough love. It's not that you were being a jerk. I didn't know how to handle the love that you was giving. You know.
Okay. All right, Coach, what you got to say?
Hold on. Am I on? Okay.
Yeah, you here?
Oh, okay. Nah, man, I think what Tim Tebow said was I think it was definitely a good analogy. The inheritance part, you know what I'm saying? And it's definitely a lot of the way I'm built, you know what I'm saying, is what my parents kind of instilled in me. You know what I'm saying? Some good, some bad. You know what I mean? And that was part of the legacy. It's crazy that you always look at your parents for the good, but you never look at your parents for the hurt, right? You know what I mean? And yeah, as you grow up, you try to prevent that bad part from trickling down. You know what I mean? So, and I think that, you know what I'm saying, is the driving factor is definitely you. You know what I mean? And you can control what you leave into, you know what I'm saying, your family and whoever you you know what I'm saying, mentor or whatever else. So nah, I agree with Tim Tebow on that one. So
Yeah, I like this analogy of inheritance is the paper, the house, this, that, and the other. Your legacy is what you leave in a person. Whether you leave that is a contributing factor of making that person's life. You know what I'm saying? And something that you taught them, something that, you know, something that is going to last and they're going to teach their kids. You know what I'm saying? And they're going to and they want or just by meeting you, they now have the drive to be a better person. You know what I'm saying? That you shine that light that has now been so bright that it goes to them as well. And then it drives them to want to shine that light. I think those are the things, those are the opportunities that God is going to reflect on when you're being in judgment. You know what I'm saying? Those opportunities of he's not going to be like, oh, you did a great job and got this promotion. It's going to be about the time you did you help that kid? Did you do it for the right reasons? Did you go and did you do that for, what was your motive behind the things that you did and the things that what you call it? Was you doing it for money? Or was you doing it to be a genuine person and help them? You know what I'm saying? And stuff like that. I think those are the things, when you go up there, you can't be like, oh, well, I left my kids 2 houses. I left my kids 2 houses. I left them, 5 million in the bank. I left them a business. I left this. This is what I left them, God, and God's gonna say, well, did you pray for them? You know what I'm saying? Did you when your child was in need, did you help them? Were you there? Could they call you? Could they depend on you? You know what I'm saying? When things are going wrong, did you pray for that person? When you see that they're making that mistake, did you do that? That's the things you're going to be judged on. And if you really believe in God, then houses don't mean nothing because they're not getting you anywhere. These houses on earth are all going to be destroyed. You know what I'm saying? That money in the Bible, money will be non-existent. It don't care. Nobody's going to care no more. None of that's going to be anything. So if you really think about it, you really do it. Like all this saving of money and building and doing these houses and all this other kind of stuff ain't going to mean nothing. When it ain't gonna be nothing when you're dead, and if you believe in God, it ain't gonna mean nothing when you go talk to God and that He asks you, "What have you done?" He's not going to talk to you about promotions at work, like he said. He's going to talk to you about that time. Did you help that person? Were you genuine? Were you good? Were you loving? Did you pray for them? Did you pray for your kids? These are the things. So anyway, long story short, that's just my summons of it all as it is. So let's get into these terrible picks. Thank you out there for joining us. Thank you for having this thing. We're gonna get into these picks, and you're gonna ruin my bet for this week. I already know it because you're probably going to agree with Coach, and I never agree with him either. So let's just get into going ahead and losing this money. Coach, you got the games this week?
Yeah, I
Muted.
got it. I got
All
it. So I think the first one is going to be the Commanders play at the Falcons this week. So that Monday night.
Oh,
is
that ain't
not
the
this
Monday
week.
night game. It's next week. Okay, good.
Yeah.
All right.
So the Commanders at the Falcons.
All right. Commanders at the Falcons.
Yeah, the Falcons pretty bad right now.
Yeah, they got the Commanders for 2.5 points. They are playing in Atlanta. Althea McFarland. The Commanders just had a great win this week.
That's why I'm going for the Falcons.
What?
Yeah, there you go.
Why?
There
Let
you
me
go.
just write it down. Just this
Falcons
market.
it is.
This
Falcons
market.
it is. Falcons it is. Rodney, it's 2-1. Don't want to hear it. That's what I'm talking about out there. Yep. Next game. The Eagles at the Bucks.
I don't even care no more.
Who
I
you
don't
got
care
out
no
there?
more.
It's me and you.
I already know I'm losing now. Jesus Christmas. All right.
Who
Go
you
ahead.
got out
What is
there?
it?
I think the Eagles.
I got the Eagles too. The Eagles and the Bucks. Yeah, we got
Yeah.
that. The next
Yeah.
one is the next one. Is,
Hold on, man. I done messed up. I done fell out of the app and everything. Let me get back in here. Jesus Christmas. Oh my gosh. I ain't never want to throw up in my life like I do one right now. All right. What'd you say? All right. So it was the Eagles and the Bucks.
yeah.
All right. Y'all got the Eagles. Go ahead. What's
The
next?
next one is the this should be an easy one for you. The Saints and the Bills. These games are trash this week, by the way. Except it's two good ones. So
All right. The Saints and the Bills.
the Bills are going to win that.
Althea?
I agree with the Bills.
Yep. The next
This game got a 17-point spread. Give me something that I can at least make some money off of. Jesus.
the next one is the Packers at the Cowboys. Packers lost last week.
Yeah, so did Dallas. Lost yesterday, but that's why they're gonna come back and spank Packers.
Nah, they not. Packers gonna win.
You,
That's
this
for
is
you.
where
That's
we
for
gonna
you.
split
That's
hairs.
for you, Rodney.
This is where we.
You
split
already
hairs
know what I
on.
put.
That's for you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And
I'm already
debating
sick.
it.
Alright,
It's
well,
two
and
other
then,
games. It's
when
two
y'all
other
come back-
games that are pretty fire. You got the
I'm 100% positive that the Packers will beat the Cowboys. They're not going to
Yeah, they
lose 2
will.
weeks in a row.
Yeah.
And the Cowboys are playing. The Packers got from the Cowboys, and there's no way he's going to go back there and lose.
Who?
Absolutely not.
Who left?
defensive man.
Defensive end. What's his name?
Not
Why am I
Beasley.
blanking on his name? Who? You don't know none of the players. I don't know why you trying to throw out
No,
names.
because they
Michael
took my boy
Parsons.
Michael Parsons. Yeah.
Parsons. No,
Michael Parsons. Yeah. You didn't even know that? That was the biggest trade that happened over the offseason. You had no
So
idea.
the last game is the Ravens at the Chiefs.
I only got 3
Oh, wait.
so far.
Well, you can't pick that one because the Ravens playing now. So let's do this one. The Colts at the Rams. That's gonna be a good game, actually.
All right, the Colts versus the Rams. Say they got the Rams by 3.5 points.
Yeah.
They're playing at the Rams out there, so it's the Colts versus the Rams. Go ahead, who you got?
They're playing at the Rams. I'm gonna go for the Colts.
Oh yeah. Colts, baby. I'm taking them too. They're going to Super Bowl.
All right. Okay. I don't already know I lost this week, so I ain't tripping. What's next?
That's it. That's fine.
I only got 4 games. The
they're-
Saints and the Bills I didn't want to put because it's negative 1,600.
Oh, well, then do Ravens. and
Negative
the Chiefs.
1,600.
Yeah, that means that bet only adds $2 to the bet to the joint. That's it.
Well, if that's the case, then go Jets, Dolphins, Monday night.
We ain't gonna make it that far, so it don't matter.
Yeah.
All right, Jets Dolphins. They got the Dolphins by 2.5 points out there.
Yeah, I
Who you
picked
got?
them.
Out there?
Miami
Jets.
Dolphins,
And the New York Jets.
New York Jets. I would. I'm gonna say the Dolphins.
All right. What'd you say, Coach?
Dolphins.
All righty.
Coach, how we agree on everything except for that split, that Dallas game?
Because I'm a Packers fan.
Oh, okay. That's where we fell out of love right there. So
Yeah.
You're not a Dallas fan anyway.
I am a Dallas fan.
I said he's not. He wouldn't.
Oh, right.
Dallas
That's
no
great.
matter what.
We was
No,
on point
no.
everything else, but when it comes to our own teams, you like, yeah.
I guess. All right, so $20 with me, $3.75. We'll see. So we got Atlanta beating the Commanders, which is not going to happen. And we got the Colts to beat the Rams. That's not going to happen. Everything else looks good, but those would be the two, except for the Miami and Jets. I don't care who wins that. But anyway, we're gonna go ahead and end this show. Have a good night. I want to thank y'all. Y'all can follow my girl Althea McFarlane, aka Reese, on the Morning Max show. You can catch her on there Monday through Friday, 10:30 to 12:30. I usually come in there and holler at my girl as much as I possibly can. I love the show. I love what she's doing. It's a group of comedians doing a great thing. Shout out to my man Marley Mall, who's also usually a regular in the comments. And we got hold on, who just scored? I'm trying to see. The score is right now 7-6. Oh nope, they got a flag. All right, so no, I guess the score still count. Oh nope, penalty decline. Yeah. So it's good score. So it's 7-7 about to be. I'm probably gonna watch a little bit of this game. But shout out to Louisa, who's also on the show, Trey Money, who's also on the show, Molly Mall. Shout out to everybody who's on who watches that show. It's a great show. Come join her, come hang out. For everything except for Fakey Friday. You know what I'm saying?
I don't do that no more. I mean, we still do it, but Trey runs it.
I got you. But anyway, it's all great. Thank y'all for joining us here at Dad Mentality. We'll catch y'all next week. Next week we should have Jerome Glover. He wrote a book called Instruction Manual. He'll be joining us next week, and we'll have a good time. But so thank you and for joining us, Dad Mentality.
All right.
Peace.